Welcome back to a weekly roundup of everything that happened in Zenless Zone 0, where we will cover everything that you missed inside and outside of the game. How did everyone's Dialyn pulls go? Let me know down in the comments below, and also take a guess at how mine go in the background here. But otherwise though, starting things off with in-game news, we have two new redeem codes that you can use, both of which will give a smidge of polychrome, with the first being ZZZ24 Krampus, with a K of course and in all caps, while the second code is Dialyn1125 with only a capital D. Otherwise though, alongside the currently ongoing events such as the NR Chess Legends event, as well as the Mecha Bangbu event, we will also be getting another new event on Wednesday the 3rd, the Lightstream Notes event, where you can take YuqIwhIUy out on some various dates to show her around New Eridu. And then on Friday, we will have our regularly scheduled Shiyu defense reset. The buff this time around will obviously be emphasizing the use of Dialyn, with any stun agent increasing stunned enemies' damage multiplier by 50%. And that's a bonus 50%, not a 50% multiplier on what is already there. So it's basically plus 50, not multiplied by 50, if that makes sense. But also, all EX special and ultimate attacks will have their damage increased by 60%. But otherwise, if you have not yet played through the main 2.4 story, don't worry, I won't spoil it just yet, but do note that there are some voice lines in the main story that are missing if you are playing in either the English, Japanese, or Korean voice acting. Some NPCs will have missing voice lines, and most notably though, there will be missing lines for both YuqIwhIUy as well as Dialyn, which is a bit weird to think that the banner agent, as well as arguably the major void hunter of the story, will not be fully voiced in their own patch. But to be fair though, these voices will be added in at some point in the future, although we aren't sure when exactly they will be added. It could be in a week or two, it could be in a new patch altogether. Now, personally speaking, after playing through the story myself, I don't think it's a huge train smash that some of the lines are missing, as the missing lines aren't really during the most important or impactful scenes. Although it was somewhat a bit weird for there to be random gaps in the voice acting while you're reading through the story. Now, some people are speculating that the reason for this is that there may have been some last-minute script changes where they didn't have time to re-record some of those lines, where the script was maybe changed to simplify some of the exposition. But otherwise though, if for whatever reason you missed out on the event to get the Minato skin from the previous patch, that has been added to the permanent store now for a total of 900 monochrome. Also, with it being a new month, which can you believe it's already December, but this does mean that all of the monthly shops have been reset. So that means your Scott Outpost Logistics shop, and most importantly, the discounted rolls in the Signal shop have been refreshed. So be sure to buy them out now before you forget. And speaking of getting some discounted rolls though, if you would like to top up on some polychromes yourselves, why not try using LD Shop, especially considering you can get top-up options cheaper through LD Shop than you would in game, with discounts of up to nearly 22% for new users. For example, purchasing an internet membership through LD Shop costs only $3.87 compared to the $5 if you were to purchase it in-game. And topping up is really easy. All you need is your in-game user ID and your server. Once you fill those in, you can click on top up, choose your payment method, and within seconds your order is completed and you can see the rewards in-game. And yes, you can even get the double bonus for first-time top-ups. LD Shop is a trusted and authorized service that is 100% safe and legitimate. Also, if you use my link in the description when you register on LD Shop, you will also get a 5% off coupon to use. And if you spend over $80, you will also gain a VIP membership, which can earn you free internet memberships and regular coupons. Once again, you can check out the description and the pinned comment to start saving with LD Shop. Moving on to social media news though, it is December, but there was a November birthday last week, with Billy the Kid having his birthday on the 25th. So happy birthday to Billy, as well as anybody else who has a birthday in the coming week. Oh, and speaking of the 25th of November, happy belated Thanksgiving to anybody who celebrated it. Otherwise, to celebrate the new patch drop, we also have the return of some Twitch drops. By signing in and linking your account on Twitch and then watching anyone streaming in the Zenless Zone 0 category for a total of 2 hours, you can earn a handful of upgrade materials as well as some polychrome. We also have some freebies though, featuring the new characters Dialyn and Banyue with some character avatars. These are of course free to download, and the link to download them will be in the description below. But there is also a Dialyn event called Dialyn Customer Service Hotline, where there are 2 different hotlines that you can contact Dialyn on, either via Facebook Messenger or via WhatsApp. By contacting Dialyn on either of these apps, then you can earn some polychrome and an extra redemption code for some in-game items. The link to the 2 chats will be in the tweet that is in the description below. Otherwise though, moving on to the speculation zone. Once again, like a carrot being dangled in front of a horse, we have received yet another teaser for the Angels of Delusion, this time in the form of another post on their official Twitter account with the image shown here and the caption, "Aria suggested we do a live stream together. If you say the wrong thing online, it'll be recorded and played back on repeat forever. But hey, nobody's probably going to be watching our stream anyway, so maybe it won't go viral." But no, what if someone records it? Oh god, this is too scary, I shouldn't keep thinking about this. Now, there isn't really anything new in terms of what's being shown off here in this image or this tweet, except for what I think is the first direct mention of the name Aria. This now being the second name to come from the group officially, with the other name being Chinatsu, who we did see during the summer event. Obviously, the third name that's being floated around is Yutane, but as per the course with characters in development, these are of course subject to change. But it does clearly of course look like they are ramping up some activity on the Angels of Delusion side of things. Next up though, some more information from the 2.5 beta has been revealed, and we now have some details on YuqIwhIUy's engine. Being a Void Hunter tier agent, if you are the type of person like me who only really pulls for the agents without worrying about their engine, I think that much like Miyabi and Yishen, this is very likely going to be an engine that you won't want to miss. YuqIwhIUy's engine will of course be an attacker type engine, with the main stat giving a fat 48% crit damage bonus, with an effect that gives a physical damage penetration bonus. This will help her partially ignore any miasma shenanigans, despite not being a rupture agent, since they would have sheer force to make it through that miasma shield, whereas of course attacker agents won't have that naturally. And then furthermore, when the equipper, so very likely YuqIwhIUy herself, activates Ether Veil, it will increase the equipper's damage by 30% at a base level, as well as providing another 20% crit damage also at base level. So with just a single copy of this engine, you're getting a 15% penetration bonus, 30% damage, and a 68% total crit damage bonus, which to me sounds pretty good compared to some other engines you'll be getting. So you should probably start thinking about saving up some polychrome to make sure that you can pull for both YuqIwhIUy as well as her engine when the banner does eventually roll around towards the end of the year during patch 2.5. And then the last little part to talk about is something that some of you might care about, but most of you probably won't mind. But in the new multiplayer event, so that is the End Night Chess Legend event, it has been found that when you match with other players, it sends of course the details of the people you match into. However, one thing it includes is that in that matchmaking data, it also sends your IP address in plain simple text. Now, for those of you that might be a bit more concerned about your data privacy, this can be a bit of a concern because of course, not only for this event itself, but it also raises the question on if this will also be an issue for any further multiplayer parts of the game, for example, an upcoming co-op mode. Now, yes, of course, this is a big data privacy breach and a good reason for concern. However, at the same time, I think for the most part, if you're wondering if something bad will happen to you for simply playing Bangbu auto chess, then you're probably more than likely fine. Call me crazy, but I don't think the elite hackers in the world that are looking to cause harm are finding targets playing Bangbu auto chess in a Zenless Zone Zero side event. That and an IP address isn't exactly like a golden ticket to your entire personal information. Some routers have dynamic IP assignments that can change, or your IP address might be assigned to a batch of different users that rotate based on how your internet service provider feels. Or maybe you're using a VPN. This would be a great time to be sponsored by a VPN. But at worst, probably someone can find your IP address and maybe know which internet service provider or which region you are in. If anything, people are more susceptible to being caught by using the same username for every social media platform that they use and in-game, in which case a simple Google search would have a lot more of a revealing information than anything else. But of course, like I said though, for the most part, this is something that I think miHoYo should look into. It is at the end of the day a concern, but I don't think that as a player you will be affected by this too severely. I won't say it's a 0% chance of happening, but it is very unlikely. Besides, your IP and information are already being gathered by so many other things already. But otherwise though, thank you all for watching until the end. If you enjoyed this video, then liking, commenting and subscribing is greatly appreciated. But until next time, bye bye!